Welcome to the Real Authority. Now, I wasn't planning on making an theater review, sort of like the few that I've done before, I guess, for him. But I do want to get some of my thoughts out of the way right away, and I can just edit the people if I give credit to them. It's basically a football star gets to train with one of his most favorite football players ever, played by Marlon Wayans, which leads him to discovering that not all is as it seems. Starting off with the obvious positive, Tyreek Withers and Marlon Wayans, they're like the two stars who are making this movie just in general. I've seen Withers in the I Know What You Did Last Summer movie, and he clearly has a career ahead of him. With Marlon Wayans, it's kind of interesting because this was like hyped up as his most out there role, because you know he's a comedian, you know he's an actor who gears toward comedy, and while sometimes the movie does utilize that to its benefit and yet kind of to its detriment, Wayans definitely delivered one of his strongest performances that I've seen from him. I'm not into a lot of his comedies, but he did great. He absolutely steals the show even when the script kind of is eh. Plus, for the directing, Justin Tipping, his screenplay with These Other People, and as well as his directing, I'm pretty sure this is his directorial debut. He does pretty strongly and shows what future he has ahead of him. He's a horror director that really has a lot of potential. Plus, the screenplay, I will say, misguided, yes, but I do feel there are a lot of strong moments, and I feel that's a consistency for the rest of the movie. Plus, the score is really good. It doesn't rely on jump scares. It pretty much tries to pave its own way, and I do feel that was a strength. Also, the cinematography. It's hard to do an ad reaction without editing. Okay, here's the cinematographer. Fortunately, even though it does have a lot of strong elements, I do feel it's a bit misguided. Like, I kind of knew one thing about this movie, it would kind of be a critique of football as well as its ultra violence. I was willing to see a movie try to bring home the point of maybe football is not as it seems, maybe it's too dangerous to play sometimes. I don't know, it really does feel like this movie is trying to make a point, and for the most part I did feel it did it well. Unfortunately, the structure of the movie is very wonky. It does try to be a comedy with Wayans. Well, not a lot. It's not a comedy per se, but I do feel the movie is a bit trying to lean into Wayans' comedic strengths, although he's not a comedic character and this is far from a comedy. It more or less tries to build on the horror as well as the story. And I do feel the 1 hour and 37 minute runtime, while it should feel short, it does feel like a drag, unfortunately, which really does suck because everyone in the movie is giving great performances, so it's not their fault. I just feel like the script wasn't as focused as I feel it should have been. Plus, said boredom leads to not really that much engagement, and plus it goes in like numerous different directions where I felt the trailers made it concrete to whether it would be one thing or not. Granted, subverting expectations is definitely not an uncommon trend, but for this movie it really does feel like it's trying too hard a bit. Not really with a concrete sense of direction. I don't know. Oh, and also it really does feel like the movie kind of, because of its inconsistent tone, it kind of feels like it has pieces missing. Like, I noticed that more toward the end than the beginning, but it really does feel like it tries to rush to the end. Maybe that's one of the reasons why it was like 97 minutes. It just didn't feel organic, it didn't feel natural, but I will say the satisfying moments make me want to love it more than I ultimately did. Like, it's not a masterpiece or anything, but him definitely has its heart and mind in the right place, and as much as I want to give it the fair deal of criticism that it deserves, Withers and Wayans absolutely make it worth going. Maybe not to the theater. I'm actually contemplating, is it good enough, or at least slightly good enough to go to the theater? The Real Authority would approve for streaming, unfortunately. 6 out of 10. I don't know. I just feel like it's not as great of a movie as, you know, it should have been, and really the boredom just gets in the way of everything, but it is good enough to watch on streaming, I guess. I still keep coming back to the negatives, but it has enough good in here to justify it ever so slightly, so make sure you leave a like, subscribe to the channel, turn on post notifications, and comment your thoughts on the movie, and let me know what you thought of this video. Alright, peace.